call the meeting to order. I should like a motion, please, to 2.1, to adopt the agenda for the March 22nd, 2016 special meeting of council. Salt and Torgerson. All in favor? Carried. Your hand covered the whole scene, so we know you're in favor. Okay. All right, 4.1, we have Director of Finance, Ms. Macneill, with the draft 2016 Village of Valemount annual budget and 5-year financial plan. And the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. So this is the second meeting of our budget considerations for the 5-year financial plan. We took the last meeting, the comments from council, and I took them back to the senior staff. We amended some of the expenses. We also realized there were some from the Public Works Department that were missing, so we've added those. So I'm going to go through them again with the amendments, and I'm going to ask for each one that has not already been approved in the budget to have your consideration to approve it or deny it, or to move it to 2017. That way I can complete the 5-year budget, the spreadsheet for it. So the first one is the professional services, and this was for the recruitment of the CAO and conducting a 3-month evaluation. At the last meeting, council considered not having the former intern CAO do a 3-month evaluation, so we've removed that. And I just want to confirm that that is still council's wish.
Council? Do we, okay, that is still council's wish.
Okay. The next one was the salary review, and that was already approved last year and implemented, so that's going to be put forward. The Visitor Information Center new chairs for upstairs, that was for the interpretive room, for meetings and for visitors coming. The cost for that was $3,000. Senior staff thought it could be budgeted into 2017 if council preferred, instead of this.
Councillor Torgerson?
I recommend we budget for 2017.
Okay. Second by Councillor Blanchette. All in favor? Carried.
Does this format work for everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. The village entrance sign flags, when the entrance sign was created, it was made for flags on either side. Again, senior staff looked at it, thought it could easily be budgeted into 2017, and that was a cost of $3,000.
Okay, Councillor Torgerson and...
I just have a question, if I may. Because, is this like an overall design that we're taking it from, or is that still was this a granted item? So we have to put flags there?
No, we don't have to. The placements are there for it.
Councillor Blanchette, you have something?
If we've gone this long without flags, and we do have flags outside of here and stuff, I think that we're fine without flags, is my opinion.
Okay.
Same.
In terms of just as a procedural recommendation, I would suggest that you could do a straw poll of council with each of these items and then save the changes and adopt them with one motion at the end.
Okay.
Probably cleaner that way.
Okay, so the straw poll. Council wishes this to be deferred.
Or just council?
Just council.
Or just
That's the
council.
period?
Okay,
Quit bringing it forward then.
okay.
Thank you.
I can't see the rest of you. I can only see this frame on my screen.
And I think that's how
Did
it's
you
set
hear
up
what
to
we were
be.
discussing, Peter?
I heard what you were discussing, but I can only see the frame on my screen. I can't see you, so to do a straw poll, I need to get the camera readjusted.
Are you able to see the room at all, Councillor?
Not right now because it's taken up by the frames that Laurie's presenting.
Yeah, I'm afraid that Laurie's presentation is going to take precedence over your ability to see the room.
We can verbalize our...
We will verbalize each.
I got it figured out. Now
Okay,
I can put you down or raise you up. There you go.
Okay. I feel so much better.
if you can hear Ms. Macneill, and then the straw poll, then you are included. You're not missing a thing.
All right. So did you do a poll?
We did?
Okay.
Okay. It was It was, what? It wasn't approved, let's put it that way. It was deferred,
I'll agree with that.
or it was canceled. It was
I'll agree with
canceled,
that.
not deferred.
Okay.
Thank you. Ms. McNee, the floor is yours again.
Thank you. The next item was the boundary expansion referendum. Senior staff discussed this and we realized that we do not need this for this year. However, we wanted to keep it in case there was a by-election. For some odd reason, we would like that amount kept in there just in case.
All right, what is council's straw vote on this? Councillor Torgerson,
We'll keep it in the budget.
you're keeping it in the budget?
Second that.
And Blanchette and Salt and Councillor Reimer to keep in the budget?
We can keep it in the budget as long as we can, if we need it somewhere else, we can move it.
Yes.
And we can review that at the end of the presentation when I have some amendments and some options for you.
Can you hear Ms. McNee?
Kind of. Can you repeat it?
I'll have some options at the very end of the presentation where I can show where we can create some or cut some costs for this.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
The next item was the phone system. This has been amended, staff went back and we realized that we can lease this. So we're looking at that option instead. Instead of the $15,000, we're looking at approximately $5,000 this year instead.
And what will the lease be per year?
Approximately $3,600 for this year. We're just looking at some costs and some different options.
Okay.
Our finance clerk has a few different companies on the go right now.
So we will know then what the eventual total cost will be.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. What is council's wish? Leave in?
I agree with leaving in, going with the best possible price option to get the best bang for our dollar.
Yeah.
It's important that we have the proper phone system. I mean, staff's efficiency could be affected if we don't get some of this fixed in. Our EOC needs this as well.
Okay. Are you in favor, Councillor Reimer?
Yeah, I think if we lease and it works out to be a better deal, at least if things are upgraded over the next year or two, we're not stuck with something that we've paid a whole bunch of money for and is totally depreciated.
Okay, thank you. So that is favored.
Great. The next item was the OCP and zoning bylaw. We realized on the last presentation, we only had $12,500 included on this and some carry forward. We realized that this could be a increased cost if we combine the zoning and the OCP. So we have done this, increased it. We have $50,000 that we budgeted last year, which we will carry forward. We have a grant that we increased that we can use, and we've requested 50 instead of 12,500 for this year, so the OCP can be reviewed.
Okay. What is council's wish here?
And please note at the end, there are options to amend any of your
Yes.
recommendations.
Yes. Okay. Council?
Okay, let's leave it in there for now and we can,
Okay. Everybody's in favor of leaving it in for now? Okay. Councillor Reimer too, okay, thank you.
The next item was the traffic study. Senior staff went over this again, and we realized that we don't have to have the village pay for this. We can ask this of the developers instead and see where we can go from there. So we've actually deleted this from the budget.
Good idea, thank you. Next.
Swift Creek Bridge. The insurance, of course, is mandatory, it's required. However, the maintenance on it, the $2,500, we said that we can do it in 2017. The bridge is in good shape. I forwarded all of the bridge documents to everyone for review.
What is council's wish here? In favor? Councillor Reimer in favor?
Yeah, I was gonna stop by Lake Havasu to see if they wanted to give up their, what they thought was their London Bridge, and we can move it in place.
Well, there's nothing, we're not stopping you.
Anyway, that's fine. I'm sure we can resolve that little issue.
Yes, okay. Next.
The next was road repairs, $7,500. Of course, Public Works Department said that we can move this forward to 2017 if you wish, but there are some major areas that need to be repaired.
Okay. What is council's wish?
I'd like to see the repairs.
Good? Yes? Yes. And Councillor Reimer, you would see the repairs as well. That's unanimous?
Yeah, if we don't start doing some
Yes.
repairs ASAP, we're gonna have some major problems.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. Okay.
Line painting. We budgeted $5,000 in 2015, so I've moved that forward, and another $5,000 for this year. That'll be the crosswalks, handicap zones. We're also looking at the cost for the line painting of Caris, Main, and Fifth Avenue. And Public Works will make sure that he gets a better quote on that.
Okay, what is council's wish? Torgerson?
Move to 2017.
Move this to 2017?
Yeah.
Councillor Salt?
I am concerned that a lot of the lines are getting very faint. You know, lines delineating parking and handicap stalls, crosswalks. So I do have concerns that we need to get on this soon. So if it's felt that it is safe enough to delay it or defer it another year, fine, but I know I have some concerns.
There is the option to not do the actual line painting on the roads, but to do the crosswalks and the handicap zones
That is an option.
as well.
Okay, Councillor Blanchette?
If we're gonna be doing road repairs, would we, would each interfere with the line painting? No?
No.
Okay. Then the safety has to come first. Right?
Councillor Reimer, do you have a comment?
Well, if they would quit using disappearing paint for road lines, that would help significantly in keeping some road lines on place on the roads. Is there a grant for doing road lines? Is that a possibility?
I am looking at the gas tax. I know they have some options for road construction. I'm not sure if line painting is part of that. We have looked at the line paint that adheres to the pavement and it lasts longer. It's really expensive, but we have looked at that option and we can look at it again.
Of course, I was just over in Vietnam and lines don't mean a thing over there. At least we're somewhat civilized with or without lines over here, and we kind of know most of the place where you kind of stay on the right and stay on the left, so it's not a crucial issue, but.
Yes, Councillor.
Is there a possibility we can do a cost sharing with any particular hotels or motels? Because obviously this service is not provided locally.
And I believe our public works superintendent would work with anybody who is doing it on their parking lot.
So at least we could cost share the mob and demob?
They can look into it.
Absolutely.
I should like to add, we're talking about Vietnam and et cetera. When we lived in Fort St. John for 2 years, where my husband was transferred with BC Hydro, jaywalkers had the right of way. And if you were on the main street, right downtown, commercial area, you had to watch out for jaywalkers because they had the right of way. And you had to stop even if it was in the middle of the street. So, I don't know if that would top Vietnam's, your experience in Vietnam. Thank you. Okay, so public safety. Yes.
Instead of riding roughshod, it was rickshaw.
Rickshaw. Okay, next item.
Shop security. And I believe council at the last meeting said that they wanted to leave this in. We have budgeted for the public works the shop and also the sewer and the water treatment plant.
Okay.
Backhoe tires, this is one that Public Works realized that wasn't added in here. This is mandatory for that one. It's a maintenance cost. It's a minor cost for that one. And once our UBCM tangible capital assets study is done, we'll be able to implement this over a 20-year period, a regular maintenance schedule.
Good, thank you. Council's in favor?
Yes.
Okay.
Grader tires, same thing. This was in the last one. Fortunately, these ones are a little bit more expensive and regular maintenance for that.
Council, in approval? Thank you.
The shop theft replacements. Unfortunately, this week, the Public Works Superintendent went to change the tires over and realized there were tires that were also stolen that they didn't realize. So he estimated the cost to be $3,500. Some of them, he said, would have to have been replaced anyways, but it was a shock to go into the back of the room and see that they were missing. So unfortunately, this one is a requirement to have. Yeah.
Okay, so council is in favor.
The garbage truck maintenance, I believe I explained last time that when we purchased the new garbage truck, we had replaced some of the older truck parts onto the newer ones, and it's time to replace those as well. Garbage bin replacements, these have already had to be purchased. We were running out. The next one is the geothermal workshop. This one was pre-approved in 2015, carried forward. It's now complete and done. Sports Dayplex area, this was brought up by the Public Works Superintendent. Some of the buildings are looking very shagged. We were discussing what we want to do at this area. It's a matter of refinishing the outside of some of the buildings, which will be a council decision later on. He had suggested that we at least do some painting, and the public washrooms need to be refinished on the inside.
Okay, and we have a cost there?
$5,000.
Okay. Council, you are in favor? Okay. I think it'll make it easier if we just approve, and if you don't approve or have a question, put your hand up. We'll go a lot more speedily that way.
Thank you. The next was the airport crack sealing. We had $50,000 put in last year's budget that's been brought forward. We are looking at a grant where we hope we can access 75% of the total cost of 100% or $100,000. The Public Works Superintendent did request another 15 in case the grant did not follow through and that we needed to do this.
Okay.
I'm also looking at gas tax funding for this as well, if that one other.
There was, I remember reading something about infrastructure for airports
And that's what we're
being
applying for
available,
right
and that's
now.
where you are applying. Okay.
That will cover up to 75% of the
Okay,
cost.
that's good.
The next is the dog pound. This is just being brought forward from 2015. It's a minor cost to finish it. The additional cemetery site, again, we had $30,000 budgeted previously that we're carrying forward if we need it, and for this year another $15,000. This will be another council decision that we're going to have to discuss where the new cemetery will be. For now, the Public Works Superintendent would like to just expand the current cemetery towards the fire hall, so we'll have to do that, discuss that. Greater bushings. This was a large item that Public Works realized was not included. There's some major work that has to be done, but we don't know how much work has to be done until some major components are taken out, and then they'll see the extent of it. It could be up to $20,000. Grants, sorry.
Councillor Torgerson?
If we're not able to replace bushings, then you'll start replacing major components around the bushings, just to clarify that.
Yeah.
And once again, once the UPCM tangible capital asset, which is coming up, once that's in place, we'll have a better 20-year plan. This, of course, is carried forward from 2015 and in progress. The overall changes that I have from the original budget that we brought forward are the airport 50, greater bushings 20, sports day upgrades 5, the OCP 37,500, theft of the tires 3,500, and amortization that I had to add in that I did not include last time due to our policies. So that's been included. Council deleted the Wisner Consulting for 2,500, the phone lease we put down to 10, and the traffic study we deleted. So overall, we have 189,000 we need from surplus. Some of our options to reduce this are the new corporate officer that we are hiring may have expertise in the zoning and OCP bylaw area, and we may be able to bring our costs down for that area. Also, higher revenues, less expenses, where staff watches those, we can bring in some extra money. Of course, some of the items that we listed that we can move to 2017 are also on here.
Any questions, council?
Okay.
So with those reductions, what's the bottom line to the tax bill?
Out of surplus, we'll need $83,000. Some of the amounts for the assets don't come out of surplus. It goes into the asset portion of the budget. My next slide shows last year, consistently, we've done a 2% increase on taxes. 2% gives us approximately just over $12,000. A 0% increase to the taxpayers is considered an inflation rate only. That covers just the basics. A tax increase would be 2% that we did last year, total 4%. An average house, I believe, on every $100,000 of assessed value was an additional $20 on their tax bill, municipal portion only. Yeah, per $100,000. So if you had a $200,000 house, it'd be $40 extra. And that's what we did last year.
That does not include police, school.
No. And we don't know what their increase or decrease will be until later towards the budgets are ended. And of course, a 2%, 4% increase will give the village over $23,000 in revenues to go towards that.
And there will be an increase from regional district this year too.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
So I'll just continue with the water. Again, the backhoe tires, this cost is split between water, sewer, and general. So that's why it's only $2,000 between each. The water treatment plant chemicals, we can't change that. We have to purchase them even though they've gone up, unfortunately. Fire hydrants, this is an area where we can defer to 2017 if we wish.
For safety purposes, what is council's wish? No? Okay, we don't defer it.
Swift Creek Review, I think this is a mandatory look. I know Councillor Torgerson had mentioned partnering with another organization for this. For the Swift Creek Review, the helicopter ride review.
Yeah, there's a possibility we can partner with MOTI because some of their infrastructure is on that creek as well.
So we'll look at reducing the cost by partnering with another agency on that.
If LiDAR goes ahead, but I mean, it's extremely expensive for LiDAR, but for flying the actual watershed, we can still partner with MOTI.
And it's only a few $100s an hour. It's better to be aware of what's up there than to be surprised.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Water Smart Ambassador, this is a program we have every year and was approved last year by council. The gen set for the water intake pumps, this was put on. This was $75,000 and would have come out of the reserve that we had last year. I was looking at the gas tax funding. We may be able to use some of that. So that'll be looked at. SCADA system. This is a computerized system and it allows all the alarms to be connected with the lift stations in the water treatment plant. Currently, we use wireless radios. However, these can be unreliable due to power outages and the current business is for sale. So we don't know what the outcome of this is. So this is an important one that we're looking at, and it would be partnered between the sewer and the water. Unfortunately, this is an expensive cost, $15,000 to each. Again, we're looking at the gas, $15,000. And again, we're looking at the gas tax funding to see if we can cover that.
Councillor
You
Blanchette?
said that the business is possibly being sold?
Robson Valley Internet is for sale. Overall changes from the original budget that was presented, we've added the SCADA system, the amortization that was not added onto there, and the backhoe tires. Previous budget was $69,000. We now require $100,000 almost to continue. Of course, two of the things would be the genset and the SCADA to either move to 2017 or have them funded by the gas tax. As you can see, even with those two items taken out, our surplus, we still require $9,300 just to run the regular expenses. So this is one of the reasons that our utility fees must be raised. Otherwise, we're just going backwards and using our surplus for that.
Well, it costs more to operate water and sewer every year.
Yes.
We have higher costs every year with the supplies, maintenance, and salaries.
Hydro
That's right.
is another large one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's where hopefully our water ambassador will come in and water conservation will be big.
Yeah. But 93 is not bad.
Yeah.
No.
Sewer, of course, we discussed that Public Works spent a lot of time on the sewer last year. So this portion of the sewer wages went up. However, the general went down. It was offset by that. Backhoe tires again, the sewer portion of it. The pumper truck, we didn't have in the budget, so we now have to have the insurance and regular maintenance on that. Sewer line flushing, we discussed doing a major line flushing.
The insurance for the bumper truck, excuse me for interrupting, but how often do we use that bumper truck?
Right now, the guys are testing so we can do businesses around the area for revenues. And they use it on the lift stations for cleaning and maintenance.
So do you need the insurance year-round on that thing?
I would think in case there was a problem anytime through the year, we would.
It says insurance and repairs.
And maintenance on it.
And how much of the 4,000 would be maintenance and repairs, and how much would be insurance?
I'd have to look at that. I'm assuming, I don't even want to
If you looked at
assume.
it quickly and thought it was all insurance, it seems high, but then when you consider that maintenance and repairs are in there too.
Maintenance and covers fuel as well, so.
Councillor Salt.
Is Public Works looking at just only possibly providing services to businesses? I know there had been previous discussion about possibly providing services to any citizens that have septic systems. Is that still a
request that will
consideration?
come forward to council for their approval. And it's a way to generate revenue on that.
I know we have another business within the Robson Valley, but
Yes.
not within Valemount, so this was gonna be an option for Valemount and area residents, but you don't really want to impact another business
No, absolutely
negatively,
not.
right? So, okay.
And I will look into the insurance, Councillor Reimer, to make sure that we do require it. But in cases of emergency, I believe you would want it year-round.
Okay.
Again, the sewer line flushing, a major flushing instead of portions. Shop security again, council expressed that was a requirement. Fifth Avenue lift station, that's been approved. We're actually in the works. We have Urban Systems doing some surveying on the lift station. I believe there'll be another crew here on Monday doing some work on it. Currently, this is out of the village surplus for the sewer, but again, I'm looking at gas tax funding. We have a bit of it saved up over the last few years that we haven't spent. Again, the SCADA system with the $15,000 being shared, each sewer and water. Lift station pumps, that was on the last budget for $7,000. Overall changes, the SCADA system, amortization, backhoe tires and contingency. Previous budget was $242,000, we're now at $274,000. Of course, we can move the SCADA and the pumps to 2017. The $235,000 has already been set aside for the lift station. Total surplus that we require is $17,000 just for regular maintenance, without any capital assets in there. I had 2 additional council considerations for the budget. Councillor Blanchette had requested new doors on the library. So the Public Works Superintendent and the Building Inspector got together. They estimated approximately $6,000 for those doors. They are specialty wood doors for that area.
Councillor Blanchette.
Are the doors lighter?
I'd have to ask.
Okay.
That wasn't my questions.
The doors are so heavy, and during the winter time, they swell, so they are heavier then, and then they're also, the snow and ice blow in, and we are sometimes locked in. So lighter would be really great.
And if approved, then you could work with them on the style as long as it's in the budget.
They also make it disabled accessible?
Yeah.
Are they the automatic?
We have
No.
one in the back.
Pardon?
We have the automatic door in the back.
Oh, in the back,
Right
okay.
in there,
Okay,
yes.
oh, good.
So we've already received a grant for that, which we did the library, upstairs of the Visitor Information Center, and our offices here with that grant. The last consideration was, of course, Valemount Television had requested upgrades to the equipment in the Chamber Council for enhanced recordings of the council meetings. That was approximately $8,500 on that one.
$8,500.
I took an estimate from the 3 quotes that were in.
Okay. Mr. Peters is here. Can I digress and ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Who does not hear council's discussion?
When the room is full, I will get usually 1, if not 2 or 3 people come up and ask me if I could turn the microphones up which they believe have something to do with the sound in the room because they can't hear. It's usually older people.
Okay. They should sit in the front seat.
Make a reserve seating.
Yeah, that's right.
What's the 8,500? What repairs?
That would be for extra microphones.
Well, and the fact that he wouldn't have to sit up and sit down each time. They would stay here permanently. Is that right, Mr. Davis?
Yes, it calls for
That's just a
a
convenience
microphone
for
in each
you.
position and one at the podium, wired into 2 ceiling speakers for the public gallery here.
Councillor Salt?
This has been a topic for a number of years, and I agree, it has been a consistent problem for a lot of people not being able to hear. And I understand your worship saying that this is a meeting of council, however, where they're elected officials, so they have the right to hear us and everything like that. Our budget is pretty strapped, I think, this year, but if we could perhaps defer this to be reviewed for 2017, I'd be willing to do that.
I'm curious. It is amplification. It's not acoustics, is it?
No, I don't think
Is
so.
it acoustics or amplification?
There are some people who are quiet spoken. I raised 4 children, so I can be heard, even at regional board office, which is huge, and I don't need a microphone. And the CAO heard me last week because my microphone wasn't working. So, anyway, I'm being facetious. I'm lightening things up a little bit because budget discussions and taxpayers' money are always a serious topic. Councillor Blanchette.
I'm just wondering about next year's CBT funding, if this would be something that would qualify
Well, we can always
for.
look into it, I suppose.
And we can always put it into
As to village?
2017, and I encourage you to put something into 2017 so it's not forgotten.
Okay.
It can always be looked again
Okay.
at that.
Sorry, the idea of the CBT that had come before the CBT committee a couple of years ago, and they were denied because it's village
It's a
chambers.
village, Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But in the meantime, Councillor Reimer, do you have a comment?
Well, my comment is if this is equipment that is going to go into council chambers, then the village should be the one that's paying for it, not anybody else applying for a grant. Whether we get out and flip hamburgers to do that or something like that or whatever, but you know, I appreciate the fact that people want to hear things and we all do, but you know, it is a discretionary kind of thing in a lot of respects, according to my thinking. Not to disrespect anybody, but it is a discretionary thing. If our budget is tight, yeah, definitely move it to next year and see what we do again and see what else we can do to enhance the quality of the sound.
Okay, thank you. So it's deferred. Okay. Next.
That was it for councillor additions. Was there a motion for the Valemount Library doors?
What is council's wish?
It is we own the building, you know, and this building is hard to access for our seniors and small children.
So the doors?
The doors are heavy. They don't weather well. I have been locked in the library, not being able to get out because we can only work one lock. So I think we have a responsibility to make sure that our doors are accessible, our buildings are accessible.
Yes, Councillor Salt.
Again, this is a village-owned building, and we've discussed how many other village-owned buildings have needed attention, and this has been a consistent problem with those doors for years. I know Public Works have shaved and amended and put metal strapping on. There's been multiple different fixes, Band-Aid patches, and I think if we can possibly look at something that's going to be a more permanent fix and make them easier to open and close for everyone. If we can find the room, let's do it. Okay.
As mentioned, any grants that we can apply for any of the expenses, we'll definitely be looking to reduce the costs.
I'll try. Thanks.
Okay, so council wishes to approve that? $6,000 for library doors?
Yeah.
Okay,
Were you moving?
okay. Seconder, Salt. Blanchette and Salt.
We lost internet connection somewhere.
I don't know, is,
We hear you back.
I got him connected.
I'm back.
Okay, Councillor Reimer, there was a vote taken on replacing the library doors for a cost of $6,000. And 3 councillors have voted in favor.
There's a message saying there's a problem with internet connection between you two. Hold on while we try to get it back. So there
Okay.
is a signal
Okay,
error occurring here.
okay. Well, it's passed anyway because it's a majority, so.
You might have something to add or say.
Mhm.
So that was the end of the presentation. If anybody has any other questions.
Okay,
I
floor
think
is open,
that-
council. Do you have any questions?
What's your,
Councillor Salt and then Councillor Torgerson.
So you'll give us a summarization in one form of what all is going to need to be taken from surplus from the different areas, and anything that's coming, is anything coming out of reserves? Some of the water and sewer items are coming from reserves? Okay.
The SCADA, the genset, the sewer
And-
lift station.
And this is only doing a 2% COLA increase, or,
I will give you how much comes out of
Options.
reserve once we go, if the 2% increase is implemented, how much that will reduce. I'll have an actual report for council at the next meeting with everything. I think the biggest thing will to have a proper resolution of what was decided to go to 2017 or canceled.
So
I'll leave
we-
that to Mr. Young to bring back.
so I guess my question and concern is do we have enough out of surplus without having to do any kind of a drastic tax increase?
Absolutely. I believe I have to discuss with KPMG. They're coming tonight to discuss the financials, to present the financials. I believe we have around $400,000 in general. And we've always put a surplus amount in the budget since I've been here. We've never used it due to projects being expended to the next year, canceled.
I just want to protect the taxpayers from a
Absolutely,
significant
absolutely.
increase.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think for myself, I'll just need to confirm with Mr. Young what the resolution is to confirm that I have all of those numbers and bring back a report. For us, what we will need to do, I'll have to have one more report. I will have council confirm everything that has been discussed tonight. I will do first and second reading of the 5-year financial plan. I will then have an open house for the public presentation, and then we'll proceed to third and then fourth and final reading before May 10th, I believe, is the last
Yes.
council meeting.
Yeah.
oh, like,
Last minute.
Yeah.
Five
It's
di-
always a
fi-
rush at this time of year.
5 days to spare?
Yeah, as long as it's done by May 15th,
That's right.
and regional district is March 31st.
And we need their numbers, of course, to implement
Yes.
into our bylaw.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, so now,
Just one further procedural
Yes.
item. The last item that was moved was related to the library front doors. We will need council actually to pass a motion related to the presentation and the adjustments that have been outlined
Yes.
and agreed to.
okay. So motion, please. Councillor Blanchette and Councillor Salt, that the budget is presented by the financial officer be approved as amended. Okay, any discussion or questions? Councillor Reimer, any questions?
What if, he can hear us, but we can't hear
We
him.
can't hear him. Okay. All in favor? Carried. Okay, so motion to adjourn then, please.
Public comment?
Oh, well, I saw only the media present, so I never thought of public comment. Is there anyone who wishes to make a public comment? Floor is yours. Yeah.
We had one media speak up last time, so.
Yes, I know.
Perhaps.
I know. Okay. All right. So I'll take a motion then, please, to adjourn. Salt. Okay. It's adjourned at 5:40.